tayo ng math-aral. Sa math, walang maiiwan. Math-sayang math-aral tayo ng math-tuto, upang ika'y umasenso. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina math-aral na tayo. Maging matyaga, maging matalino, halina math-aral na tayo. Halina math-aral na tayo. Halina math-aral na tayo. Halina, 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 aral na tayo.
Matsayang araw muli sa ating mga batang mandunong at welcome sa ating Project SOAR series of online academic reviews of mathematics CLAID module for week 5. Sa ating mga viewers, huwag po nating kalimutan i-share ang ating videos or mag-host ng watch party para sabay-sabay po tayong matuto. Kanina, napanood natin ang lecture para sa statistics and probability. Ngayon naman ay ating mapapanood ang week 5 for basic calculus. Our next speaker is a graduate of Rizal Technological University with a degree of Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Mathematics. She is previously an MTOP coach in Immaculate Conception Academy, and she also served as a curriculum developer in Mathematics at Singaporean Math Tutorial Center. She is also a Gawad Kalinga volunteer and a trainer of White Team Leadership Training Team of the present. Let us all welcome Mrs. Nadia L. Onios.
Thank you, Ma'am Benson, for your generous introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. To our supervisor, Sir Resty Rodelas, to our dearest principal in City of Mandaluyong Science High School, Sir Eric Nanjola, to all the head teachers, to my colleagues and friends, to my students and all the Batang MANDunongs, and to our home learning partners, again, good afternoon. This is Mrs. Nadia Olios, and I will be your teacher for week 5 of Basic Calculus. Let's begin. So before we start our lesson, let us have a short recap on this lesson. Do you still remember? Ang topic na ito ay gradient of a straight line. Naaalala niyo pa ba kung paano kinukuha ang slope ng isang straight line, mga batang mandunong? I'm sure naaalala niyo pa. Dinidefine natin ang slope as the steepness of a line. So, tingnan natin ang straight line na ito. Y equals 3x plus 2. Can you give me one example or one method on how to identify the gradient of the straight line? Magaling! Alam ko, marami kayong naisulat. Isa-isahin natin. So, para makuha natin ang steepness or ang slope or ang gradient na tinatawag natin, ang straight line na ito, meron tayong iba't ibang paraan. Halimbawa, rise over run. So, kagaya ng given natin, may graph tayo dito. So, para makuha natin ang slope natin or nire-represent natin as M, pwede natin gawin yung rise over run. Kung saan, bibilangin lang natin. Mamimili muna tayo ng dalawang points lying on the straight line. So, halimbawa, itong point na ito at itong point na ito. So, point A at point B. Para makuha natin yung rise, we will just count the number of units from point A to point B upwards or downwards. So, pag upwards ang ginawa natin for rise, we have 1, 2, 3 units going up. Okay? Tapos, yung run naman natin, since nagsimula tayo pataas, yung run natin papunta kay B. So, ilang units yon from here up to B. So, meron tayong 1 unit to the right. So, ang run natin ay 1. Therefore, ang ating slope ay 3 over 1 which is equal to 3. Ganun din naman pag nagsimula ka from point B to point A. So, pababa naman ang bilang natin. So, we have 1, 2, 3 going down. So, going down symbolizes negative. So, negative. Tapos, ang ating run is going to the left, okay, of A, going towards A, from here to A. So, we have 1 unit to the left. So, yung left natin symbolizes negative also. So, that's negative 1. Okay? Therefore, negative 3 divided by negative 1 is still positive 3. So, ang rise natin ay negative 3 over on negative 1. Therefore, ang slope natin ay positive 3. Magaling. Isa yan sa mga method na pwede natin gamitin para makuha natin ang gradient. Isa pang method na pwede natin gamitin ay, alam ko, nailista nyo rin ang method na ito, ay gamit ang dalawang ordered pairs na meron tayo sa point A at sa point B. So, ang ordered pair natin for point A ay 0, 2, at ang ordered pair natin for point B ay 1, 5. Okay. So, gamit ang ordered pairs na ito, we will be using the formula vertical change over the horizontal change. Ibig sabihin, kukunin natin ang difference ng y coordinates over the difference of the x coordinates. So, meron tayong 5. Kahit alin dyan ang maging mauna mo, okay lang yon. Kahit aling point dyan ang maging y sub 2 mo, basta yung partner niya yung x sub 2 mo. Okay lang yon. So, pwedeng si B ang unahin ko, pwede rin naman si A. So, gusto kong unahin si B. Ang y sub 2 ko ay 5 minus y sub 1 is 2 over x sub 2 is 1, x sub 1 is 0. So, magiging sagot natin ay 3 over 1, which is still 3. So, iisa lang ang makukuha natin kahit pa gamitin natin yung rise over run or yung vertical change over the horizontal change. Ano pa kaya? Tama. Alam ko na ilista nyo din yung y equals mx plus b. Kung saan, ang value ng m natin ay ang value ng slope natin. So, pag meron tayong equation na given na nasa form na y equals mx plus b, ang m natin doon ay ang ating gradient or ang ating slope. Magaling, naaalala nyo pa. Halika na. Alamin naman natin kung papaano kunin ang gradient ng curve na ito at point A. So, paano ba natin kinukuha ang gradient ng curve? Unlike a straight line, ang gradient natin ay iisa lamang kahit ano pang points ang piliin mo. But for this curve, we have different values for the gradient kasi iba-iba ang steepness niya. Hindi kagaya ng straight line na ito, iisa lang ang steepness niya kasi straight line siya. While for this curve, iba ang steepness nitong side na to, iba rin ang steepness nitong side na to. So, paano nga ba natin kukunin ang slope nitong curve na to at a specific point? Naaalala niyo pa ba? How about for point 24? At point 24, let's name it as point B. Papaano natin kukunin ang gradient ng curve na ito at point 24 or point B? Naaalala niyo pa ba? Tama. kailangan nating gumawa or mag-drawing ng tangent line na dadaan doon sa point na hinahanap natin. So halimbawa, kukunin natin yung gradient of this curve at point A, you need to draw a tangent point passing through point A. Ganon din sa point B. You need to draw a tangent passing through point B. Tapos, yung mga line na yon ang kukunan mo ng slope. So, at point A, ang kukunin natin dyan para malaman natin ang gradient ng curve na ito at point A, gagawa tayo ng tangent passing through point A. Tapos, from there, you can use the three methods that we learned a while ago, yung natutunan natin kanina, or yung aralan natin kanina, para makuha ang slope ng line na ito. So, pwede natin gamitin yung rise over run, kung saan bibilangin lang natin yung distance from one point to the other point. So, para makuha natin yung gradient at point A, we have let's say this point here, point A, from point A to point B. So, eto pala, kasi nasa line tayo, no? Okay, so from point A to point C, ibilangin natin yan. So, ilan ba yan? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going down, so -4. Over, from here to point A, ilang units yon? 1, 2. -2 units. So, ang slope ng curve na ito at point A is equal to +2. Ganon din ang gagawin mo para makuha ang slope ng gradient ng curve na ito at point B. Kailangan mo mag-drawing ng line tangent to point B, tapos saka mo kukunin ang gradient ng line na yon. So, tingin nyo ba, mahirap gawin yon, method na yon, na every time you have to get the gradient of this curve at a specific line, kailangan mo pang mag-drawing ng tangent para makuha ang slope nito? Oo, medyo nakakapagod nga yun. Moreover, minsan, hindi rin magiging accurate ang makukuha natin. Kasi, kailangan mo pang mag-drawing tapos, ng curve, tapos gumawa ng tangent. So, paano kapag decimals ang mga points na makukuha mo? So, hindi siya accurate. Bukod pa sa medyo nakakapagod siyang gawin, malaki din ang chances na inaccurate ang makuha nating sagot. Therefore, there is a need to learn a more accurate method of finding the gradient of a curve at any point. And that method is called differentiation. So for this week, we are going to learn about differentiation. The process of finding the gradient of a curve at any point in the investigation is called differentiation. And the formula is called the derivative of y with respect to x and is denoted by dy dx. The formula is also called the gradient function or f prime x. Ulitin ko po, ang basa dito ay dy dx. Hindi po dy divided by dx ha, mga bata. Dy dx. At dito naman, f prime x. So there are three different notations to describe the above. This is the graph that we had a while ago. So if the function y equals x squared is given, then the derivative of that is equal to 2x. So if f prime x is equal to if f of x is equal to x squared, then f prime x is equal to 2x. And if the derivative of x squared is equal to 2x, if we differentiate x squared with respect to x, the result is 2x. So d dx, x squared is equal to 2x. In general, The derivative of a power function is given by nx raised to n minus 1, where n is a real number. So para makuha natin yung derivative ng power function, gagamitin lamang natin ang formula na ito, nx raised to n minus 1. So let's start with work example 1. Let us try to identify or determine the derivative of each of the following. Let's start with 1 over x squared. Okay, so we are going to get the derivative of 1 over x squared. So para makuha natin ang derivative nito, ang una nating gagawin ay lalagay natin siya in power function form, kung saan nasa numerator ang ating power. So, paano ba natin isusulat ang 1 over x squared na nasa numerator ang power? Tama. Gagawin nating x raised to negative 2. So, from here, kukunin natin ang derivative niya. So, the derivative of x raised to negative 2 is given by n x raised to n minus 1. Kung saan yung n natin ay ang ating power. So, plug in the value of n and we will have this. Simplify lang natin, negative 2x raised to negative 3. So, since hindi natin tinatanggap ang negative power sa numerator, we will just write it on our. So, our final answer is negative 2 over x cubed. Subukan natin yung pangalawang example. Y equals the square root of x. So, again, para makita natin ang ating power sa given na to, we will write it in exponential form. So, we will have y equals x raised to 1/2. So, pwede natin gawin dito. Susundan ulit natin yung n raised to x, nx raised to n minus 1. Kung saan ang n natin ay 1/2. So, 1/2 x raised to n minus 1. Okay? So, pwede nyo na siyang gawing ganito para mas madaling i-subtract or i-simplify dahil like fraction na siya. Okay? So, 1/2, simplify lang natin. X raised to negative 1/2. So, we will have here 1 over 2 square root of x. Pwede nyong i-rationalize, pwede rin namang hindi na. So, pag ni-rationalize natin ito, magkakaroon tayo ng square root of x over square root of x. So, multiply lang natin yan. Square root of x over square root of x times square root of x is equal to 2x. So, yan ang ating final answer. Lastly, f of x equals 1. So, kung mapapansin nyo, wala tayong variable dito. Wala tayong literal coefficient. However, we can express that as x raised to 0. Dahil ang x raised to 0 ay equal pa rin kay 1. Anything raised to 0, any number or variable raised to 0 is always 0. Is always 1. Okay? So, 1 times 1 is still 1. Wala namang nangyari. Para maipakita natin na ang power natin dito ay 0. So, we will have here 1 times 0 x, or wala na yung 1 kasi x raised to 0 ay 1. So, 0x raised to 0 minus 1. Magkakaroon tayo ng 0x raised to negative 1. At kahit ano pa yan, dahil minumultiply natin kay 0 yan, ang sagot natin ay laging 0. So ngayon, nakita natin na ang derivative ng constant ay 0. At magagamit natin yan kahit pa ano ang given na meron tayo hanggat meron tayong constant, laging 0 ang derivative niya. Okay, let's move on to our next discussion. Okay? So, kung gusto niyo sagutan nito, mga bata, pwede niyong picturean. Let us now move on to the 5 rules of differentiation. Rule number 1 states that if you have k f of x, where k is a constant and f of x is a function, we call k a scalar multiple. Familiar ba itong rule na ito? Tama. Parehas lang ito sa constant multiple rule na meron tayo sa limit laws. Kung saan, nilalabas natin yung constant, tapos ang kinukuhaan nating limit ay yung function lamang. So, we have the derivative of k f of x is equal to k, then the derivative of f of x. Parehas lamang sila. Rule number 2 states that if f of x and g of x are functions, then the derivative of 2 or more functions is simply the derivative of each function. And then, just apply the operation. So if you're getting the derivative, the sum of the derivative of 2 or more function, or the difference, okay, of the derivative of 2 or more function, then you just have to get the derivative of each function and then apply the operation. So, familiar din ba ito? Tama. Kagaya lamang din to ng addition and subtraction rule from limit laws. Parehas na idea ang i-apply natin dito. Let's try some examples. Okay, so we have here negative 3 over 8x raised to 4 minus 6x plus 7. So if you remember from power function, no, yung nauna nating example kanina, we have to express this one first, okay, on our numerator para makita natin yung power niya. So we will have here, okay, negative 3/8 times x raised to negative 4 minus 6x plus 7. So, pagsasamahin natin yung tinatawag nating scalar multiple at saka yung addition and subtraction rule. So, sabi ng addition and subtraction rule, if you are getting the sum or the difference of the derivative of 2 or more function, you have to differentiate each function. Okay? And then from scalar rule, if k is a constant, okay, then you have to get the derivative of the function only. So, papaano ba yun, no? Sa example natin dito, yung first term natin, yung negative 3/8 natin ang ating k, at yung x raised to negative 4 ang ating f of x. Yan. Ganun din dito, no? Ang ating k dito ay yung 6 at ang ating x ang ating f of x. Tapos, ang constant natin yung 7. So, kung naaalala nyo pa kanina, ang derivative ng constant ay laging 0. So, hindi siya basta-basta nawala. Hindi siya basta-basta nang iwan. Naging 0 lang talaga siya. Okay? So, let us get the derivative of each function to identify the derivative of the given function. So, we will have here k, okay? K, negative 3/8. Para sa ating first term, negative 3/8. And the derivative of the function. So, d dx, x raised to negative 4. Minus 6, yung k natin. And the derivative of x plus 0. Since alam na natin na ang derivative ng constant ay laging 0. Okay, so we will differentiate the given function. So, negative 3/8 times negative 4 x raised to negative 4 minus 1 minus 6. So, ang power natin sa x ay 1 times 1x raised to 1 minus 1 plus 0, wala na yon. Simplify lang natin ito. Negative 3/8 times negative 4 x raised to negative 5 minus 6 times 1 x raised to 0. Okay, so simplify pa ulit natin since hindi pa tayo naka-simplest form. We will have here positive 3/2 x raised to negative 5. So, ilalagay natin siya sa ating denominator. Minus 6 times x raised to 0. So, that's 1. Any number raised to 0 is always 1. So, negative 6 times 1 is equal to negative 6. At ito na ang ating final answer. 3/2x raised to 5 minus 6. Next example, 3x raised to 4 plus 5x cubed minus 4 over the square root of x. So again, meron tayong radical sa ating denominator dito. So i-express muna natin siya as in its exponential form. So 3x raised to 4 plus 5x cubed minus 4. So square root of x is x raised to 1/2. But since nasa denominator siya, pag nilagay natin siya sa numerator, magiging negative 1/2. Okay, and then we will differentiate each term following scalar multiple rule and addition and subtraction rule. Magkakaroon tayo ng 3 derivative of x raised to 4 plus 5 derivative of x cubed minus 4 derivative of x raised to negative 1/2. Yan. Tapos, i-differentiate natin isa-isa. So, we will have here 3, 4x, 4 minus 1, 3, plus 5, 3x, 3 minus 1, 2, minus 4, times negative 1/2 x, negative 1/2 minus 1. Pwede kayong mag-side solution para makuha agad yan. Pwede rin naman siyang ilagay sa solution. So, we will have here, simplify lang natin yan, 12x cubed plus 15x squared. Then this one becomes positive 2x raised to negative 3/2. Okay? So, magkakaroon tayo dito ng 12x cubed plus 15x squared plus 2 over the cube root of, the square root of x cubed. So, pwede mo pa itong i-simplify kung gusto mo, pero okay na to as your final answer. So, if you want to simplify that one, pwede namang 12x cubed plus 15x squared plus 2 over x squared of x. as the final answer. Pwede ring i-rationalize kung gusto mo pa siyang i-rationalize. But since it's already in its simplest form, wala naman nang mas simplify. Therefore, hindi naman na kailangang i-rationalize. Okay, so if you want to answer more exercises, you can take a picture of this one. Okay. Let's now have rule number 3. So, interesting to see rule number 3 because this rule is also known as the chain rule. Okay? So, to find the derivative of a composite function, dy dx is equal to dy du times du dx. So, ano bang ibig sabihin yan? The derivative of y with respect to x is equal to dy du times du dx. So, kukunin natin yung derivative ng u or and i-multiply natin sa derivative ng x with respect to u. Okay? Subukan natin ito. Find the derivative of y equals 3x squared plus 1 raised to 10. So, ang gagawin natin dito, magle-let muna tayo. Kasi medyo complicated siyang tingnan, di ba? So, gagawin natin, we will let this expression, no, be one term only. Okay? So, we will let it be u. So, let u be 3x squared plus 1. So, magkakaroon tayo ng then y, let u equals 3x squared plus 1. Then y is equal to u raised to 10. So, if y equals u raised to 10, then the derivative of then dy du is equal to, from power function, no, kung natatandaan nyo pa, the derivative of y with respect to u is equal to 10 u raised to 9. Therefore, the derivative of y with respect to x is equal to dy dx equals dy du times du dx. Okay. So, dy du natin ay 10u raised to 9 times ang du dx natin. Paano natin yun kukunin? We will get the derivative of u with respect to x. So, if u is equal to 3x squared, dugtungan natin to, dy du is equal to 10u raised to 9 and du dx is equal to the derivative of u with respect to x. So, from rule number 1 and rule number 2, Ang derivative ng 3x squared plus 1 ay 6x plus 0 or 6x. So 10u raised to 9 times du dx is 6x. But again, u is not really equal to u. We have to put it back. So magkakaroon tayo ng 10 times 3x squared plus 1 raised to 9 times 6x. Okay. Medyo palitan natin yung x natin ng parenthesis para hindi tayo malito. Baka gawin natin siyang x din. Yan. So, simplify natin. Yung 10 times 6, pwede pa natin siyang gawing 60x times 3x squared plus 1 raised to 9. Hindi na natin kailangang i-expand yung 3x squared plus 1 raised to 9. This is already our final answer. Okay. Ano pa bang ibang method na pwede natin gawin? Pwede natin gawin, wala tayong ililet, pero tatandaan natin na ang chain rule ay yung derivative ng buo multiplied by the derivative of the inner. The derivative of the outer, so pwede rin natin gawin yung derivative and then multiply it by the derivative of the inner power. Derivative of outside times the derivative of inside. Ay. So, kukunin muna natin yung derivative ng buo, tapos saka natin kukunin yung derivative ng inside. So, dy dx is equal to 10. Take it as a power function. So, 10 times x, 3x squared plus 1 raised to 10 minus 1 is 9. Multiplied by the derivative of the inside. So, ano ba ang derivative nito? 6x. Therefore, ang ating final answer ay 60x times 3x squared plus 1 raised to 9. Which is also the same as what we got a while ago. Okay. If you want to try more exercises, you can take a picture of this one. Okay. And let's have rule number 4. So if u and v are functions of x, then the derivative of uv is equal to u multiplied by the derivative of v with respect to x, and v times the derivative of u with respect to x. And this is also known as the product rule. So let us try to find the derivative of, the given y equals 3x plus 2 multiplied by the square root of 4x minus 1. So let us express first the term in the radical in its exponential form. So y equals 3x plus 2 times 4x minus 1 raised to 1 half. So from the formula a while ago, ang u natin dito ay ang first term, tapos ito naman ang ating v. So according to the formula, or according to the product rule, the derivative of uv is equal to u times the derivative of v plus v times the derivative of u, all with respect to x. Okay, so let us just plug in the value. We will have here u, 3x plus 2, times the derivative of v. So, para makuha natin ang derivative ng v, gagamit tayo dyan ng chain rule. Plus v, mahaba pala ito, multiplied by the derivative of u. Dito na lang sa baba. Okay, isulat natin ulit ng isang buo. Medyo mahaba pala siya, no? Sulat natin siya dito sa baba ng isang buo. Okay. U, 3x plus 2 times the derivative of v plus v times the derivative of u. Yan. Okay, so let us answer this one here. Kunin muna natin ang derivative nito gamit ang chain rule. So 3x plus 2 times times 1 half times 4x minus 1 raised to 1 half minus 1, that's negative 1 half, plus 4x minus 1 raised to 1 half. Derivative of 3x plus 2 is equal to 3. So magkakaroon tayo dito ng, simplify natin ito, magkakaroon tayo ng derivative of outer times derivative of inner. Magkakaroon tayo dito ng 2. So 2 times 3x plus 2 all over negative power yon. So we will have here 4x minus 1 raised to 1 half plus 3 4x minus 1 raised to 1 half. So pag sinimplify natin yan, magkakaroon tayo ng Pag sinimplify natin, yung meron tayo kanina, so ito yung sagot natin kanina. Okay, let us combine this in one fraction. Magkakaroon tayo ng 2 raised to 1/2. So just expand and simplify, combine like terms. We will have our final answer as 18x plus 1 all over the square root of 4x minus 1. So again, no need to rationalize since it's already in its simplest form. And that's already our final answer. For our last example or last rule, we have the quotient rule. So another way to solve the given a while ago, if it is in fraction form, no, you can use the quotient form or the quotient rule, which states that the derivative of u over v is equal to v derivative of u with respect to x minus u derivative of v with respect to x all over v squared, where u and v are functions of x. So let us try an example. Given the function f of x equals to 2x plus 5 all over 3x minus 4, let us find the derivative using the quotient rule. So again, if we're getting the derivative of u over v, then that's equal to v derivative of u minus to minus u derivative of v all over v squared. Susundan lamang natin ang formula natin. Ang u natin dito ay ang ating numerator at ang ating v ay ang ating denominator. So magkakaroon tayo ng ang ating magiging fraction now ay 3x minus 4 times the derivative of u. So that's equal to 2 minus u derivative of v is equal to 3 all over v squared. So ang ating v ay 3x minus 4 squared. So ang gagawin natin lamang dito ay i-expand, simplify, combine like terms, at magkakaroon tayo ng 6x minus 8 minus 6x minus 15 all over 3x minus 4 squared. No need to expand the denominator kasi baka may ma-simplify tayo sa numerator later on. And besides, kung naka-simplest form naman na siya, hindi na rin kailangang i-expand. So our final answer is negative 23 all over 3x minus 4 squared. That's your final answer. So again, hindi na po kailangan i-expand and simplify ang ating denominator kasi it's already in its simplest form. So I hope marami kayong natutunan sa lesson natin for today. At huwag kayong mag-alala, bibigyan pa naman kayo ni teacher ng more exercises. Thank you for listening. Again, I am Mrs. Nadia Olios and from City of Mandaluyong Science High School. Shout out to Police Captain MLG Olios and to my daughters Scarlett and Athena, to my family. Stay safe, everyone. God bless us all.